So, Cold War reveal was today. And I know there was all the Easter egg and teaser stuff before. Yeah, I'm not your guy for following that. I truly don't care. Sorry. I know there are also like a billion leaks of bits of gameplay, weapon lists, whatever. Don't care about that stuff either. But I absolutely did want to talk about Cold War. First of all, the reveal itself. If you couldn't play it today, the limited time Warzone event at 10:30 Pacific. Know your history. It was a respawn mode like Plunder, where you had the steps to freedom. Step 1, Mason, secure the keys. Nope, just kidding. That was step 2. Also, if you missed this event, there will be more times you can take part, so try to get in there if you want some of these rewards. First, you had to kill people or open boxes to collect 5 map codes. Then go to the rocket bunker to secure the key, which gave a calling card. Then crack the map code in a nearby search area for a charm. And finally, wield the weapon, which had you go to a square on the map. For us, it was H2. I assume it was different for everyone, because it didn't seem like a special spot, and there was no one else there. But we found Woods just camping in a random quarry building, and got the Bay of Pigs blueprint. Then there was confusion and nothing to do but wait for the game time to count down, although there was plenty of nice Black Ops music in the background. There was a 15-second Ascension countdown with the numbers, Mason, and then they started playing the teaser, except it became interactive, where you had to run towards the stadium in the face of tons of airstrikes. It was actually pretty damn cool.
Defense systems. The next stage is crisis.
And I wish I had the weapon drop upgrade on, because it would have been funny to call in a gun. Then it cut out again, and finally went on to play the trailer, which was a pretty standard campaign trailer with some multiplayer teaser stuff at the end. The multiplayer reveal will be September 9th. Not far off. I don't feel like there's anything I need to break down about it. I just want to talk about how I'm feeling about this game at the moment. Of course, that'll change over time as we get closer and learn more, but I've already got a list of thoughts and reasons that this game could be good, and also reasons it could be trash. I'll just be waiting to see what comes true. Let's start positive and go through some reasons this could be a good game. First of all, I think my biggest problems with the past 2 Treyarch titles, Black Ops 3 and 4, have been not liking what specialists brought to the gameplay, and the rather egregious monetization, starting with the full price and premium versions of the game, plus the season passes for DLC, splitting up the community, then the battle passes and the reserves, but that wasn't enough, so then there was the black market stuff, finally resorting to dumping new guns in the RNG drops. Just a greedy, frustrating mess. And, well, this is sounding like it'll be the first Treyarch game since Black Ops 2 where both of those big frustrations are gone. No more specialists with crazy free kill buttons, and no more out-of-control MTX. Because now that they made billions with Modern Warfare system, tied in with the free-to-play elements of Warzone, I don't see why they'd be going back. And I'd say it's true that I find battle passes boring. I don't find anything I get out of them to be rewarding or interesting. So it would be annoying if that and the shop began to completely overtake the rewards that you can earn through gameplay and challenges. But for the time being, it isn't an intrusive system anymore that hurts the gameplay, and that's all that really matters. I doubt we will be seeing any more supply drops. I mean, the worst thing about supply drops is how much of a slippery slope it is for them to throw new guns or advantageous stuff in there. Because in the case of a game like World War II, I will say they never bothered me because I could save up armory credits and get all the new stuff day one without ever needing to buy anything. And that was fun. I'd personally take that over a battle pass, since I'm never going to spend any money on cosmetic crap anyway. Having an assload of store bundles versus having supply drops doesn't make any difference to me. But I guess that's me being ignorant of people with gambling problems. I don't know. You don't win anything out of supply drops, though. I can't imagine wanting to buy them. Well, thankfully, it seems like they're gone for good. They're making tons of money from the whales buying $20 outfits. And good for them, because I don't want to see the community tear itself apart over anything that resembles a loot box. Thank you, Wales, for subsidizing my gameplay experience, because I only paid $60 last year for a change, and got probably more content than any other year when I had to buy DLC packs. Can't say all that content was a blast, but I'm separating the game from the monetization here, and it looks like I'll only need to pay $60 for next year too. Anyway, the point is, a Treyarch game with no specialists and no atrocious MTX, even just that sounds kind of promising. Especially because, from my point of view, one thing Treyarch consistently seems to do the best with is their challenge systems. Their 100%ers in the past couple games have been well organized, and, except for a few bumps in the road, have been generally fun and rewarding to hunt for. They seem to have a slightly better understanding of what at least I, and I know many people like me, tend to look for in completionist goals. What makes them fun to do? What is an appropriate level of grind? Or having several tiers of things to shoot for everyone with varying levels of time and commitment. Clearly, the seasonal content model is not going anywhere, but if we were to see a more engaging challenge and grind side of the game than the ribbon challenges and a capped level each season, that would be great. But I doubt we'll get any details on that until pretty darn close to launch, or not at all. Another thing I like hearing is that they're building off the engine improvements made by Modern Warfare. I know every year they're going to say crap about having a new engine or whatever, but I think many parts of Modern Warfare were impressive, at least on the audio-visual and technical side, and I'd like COD games to build off each other more, because I hate every year having to deal with the same old bugs, even basic stuff, like menus being awkward to navigate. How many years in a row now has there been an issue where the green square or the new item indicator doesn't go away properly, and then 4 months into the game, they finally make an update to let you clear the indicator? It's every single year, just stuff like that. It's annoying to lose progress every year and need to devote more time to fixing the same problems every time, instead of that time being spent innovating and improving the same game. On a similar note, it's cool that Warzone will be continuing, and they're trying to do a thing to tie the Call of Duty universe together more. I haven't found any of the storyline stuff to be that engaging thus far, but I think the concept has potential, and it could prove to be very cool for a part of the game like Warzone to be supported and relevant for many years to come instead of being dumped immediately. Plus, having the free-to-play element of the game stick around, undoubtedly great for player count. Crossplay too, which not everyone's a fan of, but I do like being able to play with anyone. Plus, everyone getting content at the same time is huge. As I predicted, not a single time all year did I wish I could play Spec Ops Survival, but I'm very glad we didn't have to wait a week on Xbox and PC to get new updates. Yeah, in a perfect world, everyone gets everything, but as far as exclusivity goes, I can't imagine thinking that was a bad trade-off. So Modern Warfare did make a lot of improvements in those areas that should be carrying forward to future years. Finally, just the fact that we're going back to the Cold War with what seems like a somewhat serious, based-in-truth campaign. I like the theme, the time period, not more crazy future stuff, but also not World War I trenches. I would say modern or near past are my favorite settings, and I think it'll be fun to be back in the Cold War era with some old Black Ops characters. Very cool. I guess those are my main positive thoughts. This is the first Treyarch game in a long time that sounds like it has no OP specialist abilities, is not in the future, will no doubt be taking some of the improvements Modern Warfare made, like to monetization, will be keeping the free-to-play elements and building on Warzone, and hopefully they can improve on the stuff like the challenge and prestige system to be more engaging. And they may even be fixing some of the major gripes the majority of people have with this game, like minimap and dead silence stuff, time to kill. It sounds like that could very well be happening. Now we gotta get to some negatives. Why might this game be trash? Well, one thing that's hard to ignore is, what about all those leaks and rumors about how this game got developed? How it was originally Sledgehammer's turn, but that fell apart mid-development, it got tossed over to Treyarch, then the old pandemic hit, which had to make things more difficult. What if, behind the scenes, this game is an absolute mess? They keep saying they're on schedule for release, but who knows how many corners might need to be cut? How polished could it really be? Should we be expecting some rushed dump of a game? And there's no way to answer that right now. It is a multi-billion-dollar franchise, so they're obviously going to do what they can to keep it that way and make something people want to play and keep buying stuff for. The marketing machine is in full swing to build that hype. We'll just have to see what it's like in the beta and on release. Another major concern is, what about the issues of Modern Warfare that are more likely to not go away? One obvious one being the old skill-based matchmaking, which isn't an issue for everyone, but certainly online, it seems like the majority of people agree it has no place in casual COD. I'm tired of explaining why every time, but there are always going to be people who say, oh, so you just want to stomp noobs every game, too bad for you. Well, no, if I wanted that, I'd want SBMM to stay, because it's the only way I could make that happen. It's not that hard to abuse it to find yourself in a lobby of all noobs. But I don't do that because that isn't fun either. I don't want to ruin people's time who have no chance of fighting back. No, I want variety. Looser SBMM doesn't mean you get a lobby of all noobs. It means you get everyone, people all over the place, people better and worse than you. And your personal skill will reflect how often you do well. This strength of SBMM just makes the entire exercise of playing feel pointless. I'm not even that great. I'd say I'm in the above average group that's gonna get rubber banded up and down, depending on how well I did recently. And it's stupid to feel like the game is deciding how good of a performance I'm gonna have more than I am. It'd be great to be matched up a random selection of the community so you can have a feeling for how you stack up, and you'd be rewarded for learning new tricks and improving your skills. Whereas now it feels like you're punished because there is no rank system like an actual ranked game. There is no sense of improvement whatsoever. You just face harder enemies. And I'm really not looking for a ranked experience. I want to screw around with dumb guns and grind challenges and play with friends of all skill levels without punishing a lower skill friend with lobbies from hell. This game makes that hard to do. But I mean, who am I kidding? How many friends do I have who still play this game? Not to mention, COD is inherently not very competitive. There are cheap strategies and safe spaces that allow lower skill players to succeed and improve that way. The matchmaking on top is a little overkill. It's almost like Pro COD has to ban whole categories of weapons and only play on a few maps. Gee, I wonder if that's because the game is not built as an esport. Anyway, there's a whole laundry list of things I could go through all over again to explain why I feel it kills the casual COD experience. Whether you're good or bad, it sucks to not feel yourself improving. But wasting time with that isn't going to help anything. There's no doubt a large group of people who get home after work and hop on for an hour and really don't care about taking the game seriously or improving or any of this stuff and are glad to just play in their predictable lobbies with people of similar skill. And maybe that crowd is a big part of what's making them their billions. So is the SBMM going to change? I can't say I'm very optimistic. I know there were even some rumors that it wouldn't be changing. And for many people, that's a complete deal breaker. The game will be dead on arrival, because if it isn't fun, nothing else matters. None of those potential positives I listed off. If you don't want to play it, who cares? Moving on from that, finally, I guess I'll just say, if you feel like you're tired of the COD formula and are hoping for this to be something completely different, I mean, why would it be? Don't get too lost in the hype. It'll be another COD game, which will no doubt bring some new stuff to the table, the new campaign, the new set of guns and things to shoot for, the new seasons of content, all the potential good things I listed off before, but it's just another COD game, and you'll have to decide if that sounds appealing or not. To wrap things up, with all those pros and cons, what am I feeling? Well, I run a COD channel, I'll obviously get it, and a part of me is excited for the change of scenery, the new things, and the possibility that some things are improved. Which, I mean, no doubt some things will be, even if less than I'm hoping for, but of course another part of me sees crap like SBMM not going away, and the usual array of issues that come with a new title, which could prove to make for another frustrating year. It'd be nice to be playing a game that my friends don't all hate, you know? So if you don't run a COD channel and you're feeling unsure, or you're in the anti-SBMM camp, I'll just say that there's never been a better time to not buy the game up front. There are the usual pre-order incentives of beta access and skins and whatever, but there are often multiple ways into the beta. Just remember that they've pretty clearly said they want to continue the free-to-play elements. I'm assuming something very similar to how Warzone was free-to-play this year. So maybe you can get into the game through that, having paid nothing at all, and then see if you care enough to want to buy the full game. Maybe when it's on sale, or just for the campaign, or just after reviews and all the info comes out. Because if they do the same thing with shared level and unlocks with Warzone and multiplayer, then you could be playing for free, not feel like you're missing out, and just upgrade if you feel like it. Alright, that's what I've been thinking about with Black Ops Cold War. I do look forward to seeing more. You can let me know what you're thinking too. I know I've seen plenty of people who are excited for the fresh game, and plenty of other people who were pretty turned off by this year and not so excited. I've never been one to preach don't pre-order at people, because it's your money. If you want to buy on release to not feel like you're missing out, then go for it. But if you can try it for free, you may as well wait to make sure it's something you actually want to buy. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.